Have you ever wondered why the Japanese live so long? In a country where the elderly still leisurely ride their bikes to the market, walk uphill as effortlessly as the young, and smile warmly even at the age of 90, there must be something truly special in their lifestyle and diet. And if you've ever glanced at global health statistics, you'll see that Japan consistently ranks at the top of countries with the highest life expectancy. But this isn't just a story about genetics. It's a story of awareness, of daily choices, and above all, a philosophy of life deeply intertwined with the way they eat. The Japanese don't believe in miracle pills. They don't chase extreme diet trends. Instead, they remain faithful to an ancient philosophy: eat to live, not live to eat. On their journey to longevity, they don't just choose the right foods, they also wisely avoid those that silently drain their vitality and steal their youth. In this video, we'll explore 5 types of food that Japanese people consciously avoid, not out of fear, but from a deep understanding of their long-term effects on the body. These choices help them preserve a life of agility, clarity, and vitality until the very end. 1. Sugar. If you ask an elderly woman from Okinawa, a region famously known as a blue zone, whether she often eats sweets, you'll likely get a gentle shake of the head. Not because she dislikes sweetness, but because the Japanese understand that very sweetness is often the first thing to let go of if you want lasting health. In Japanese cuisine, sweetness never overwhelms the other flavors. Traditional meals rarely end with sugary desserts. Even green tea is enjoyed without sugar, its natural bitterness embraced as a form of meditation. Why avoid sugar? Because the Japanese have long recognized refined sugar as a silent culprit of premature aging. Overconsumption causes blood glucose spikes, leading to chronic inflammation, a key driver of age-related illnesses like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and neurodegeneration. Decades of Japanese research show that limiting sugar helps maintain a stable central nervous system, protects brain cells from oxidative stress, and, most importantly, slows cellular aging. It's no coincidence that in Japanese supermarkets, sugary breakfast cereals are hard to find. Instead, people start their mornings with barley porridge, miso soup, and boiled vegetables, meals with zero refined sugar but full of natural energy. By cutting back on added sugar, the Japanese protect not only their pancreas and liver, but also preserve skin elasticity, vision, and mental clarity. They don't practice sugar detox in extreme ways. Instead, they make smarter choices, turning to natural sweetness from fruits, sweet potatoes, and brown rice, flavors tied to generations of Japanese childhood. And the magic is, it's this very simplicity that allows them to live longer and healthier than most of us. 2. Bread. For centuries, rice has been the soul of every Japanese meal. But not just any rice. We're talking about brown rice, germinated rice, whole grains rich in nutrients and fiber. In contrast, bread, especially the soft white variety, rarely appears in the meals of older Japanese generations. Why are they cautious with bread? Because refined carbohydrates like white bread, pasta, and pastries made from bleached flour have high glycemic indexes. That means they cause a rapid spike in blood glucose, followed by a sudden crash, leaving you tired, irritable, and hungry again soon after. The Japanese avoid that roller coaster. They prefer stability, in both energy and mood. In Japan, bread may be eaten in modern breakfast, but it never replaces rice. And when they do eat bread, they choose whole grain or barley bread, or even grilled rice cakes, all with lower glycemic indexes and more fiber. A 2020 study by the Japanese Institute of Nutrition found a strong correlation between refined carbohydrate intake and chronic blood sugar elevation, a factor that accelerates the onset of type 2 diabetes, obesity, and vascular aging. Rather than choosing what's fast, cheap, and convenient, the Japanese slowed down, and that very slowness brings lasting health. A meal of brown rice, seaweed, steamed fish, and seasonal vegetables may look simple, but it's a masterpiece of nutritional balance. 3. Meat. In many Western countries, meat is the centerpiece of every meal. But in Japan, meat has never held the spotlight. Especially among the elderly, red meat is consumed sparingly. Not because they're vegetarians, but because they understand that too much meat, especially beef and pork, can shorten life expectancy. Interestingly, although Japan is an island nation, it consumed very little meat until the 20th century. Instead, the Japanese ate fish, lots of it. This was not just a matter of taste, but of wisdom. Japanese medical studies have shown that frequent consumption of red meat increases levels of certain amino acids, like methionine, which can trigger cellular aging and cancer-related processes. Conversely, low methionine diets, typically found in fish and plants, have been shown to extend lifespan in animals, and may have similar effects in humans. In longevity regions like Okinawa, meat consumption is significantly lower than the national average. Instead, they eat tofu, seaweed, deep-sea fish, and seasonal vegetables, protein-rich, low-toxin foods that promote effective cell regeneration. The Japanese don't absolutize anything. They don't ban meat, but they consume it mindfully. A small slice of beef in sukiyaki, or a bit of pork in ramen, is a flavor accent, not the main dish. That's the art of long life without restriction. 4. Dairy. If you visited Japan, you may have noticed that traditional Japanese cuisine rarely includes dairy. No melting cheese, no rich condensed milk, and certainly no creamy desserts like in the West. This reflects not only culinary habits, but also a deeper life philosophy, to choose what the body needs, not just what tastes good. The elderly in Japan consume very little dairy. This isn't only due to genetics, as many Asians are lactose intolerant, but also because they believe eliminating dairy can enhance various aspects of health. Japanese nutrition studies have linked regular dairy intake with increased inflammation markers in the body. Certain dairy products can elevate levels of insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1, a hormone that stimulates cell growth, but is also associated with cancer risk and accelerated aging. Instead of cow's milk, the Japanese prefer plant-based sources of calcium and protein, tofu, miso, sesame seeds, and seaweed, all rich in nutrients and easy to digest. Interestingly, Japan has significantly lower rates of osteoporosis among the elderly compared to high dairy-consuming countries. Even more remarkable are the overall improvements people report after eliminating dairy: lighter digestion, reduced allergies, better skin, and enhanced focus and mental clarity. In Japanese culture, cleansing isn't just a physical act. It's a spiritual journey. They don't simply cut out foods. They make conscious decisions as a step toward deeper harmony with nature and their own bodies. 5. Alcohol. In many countries, a daily glass of wine is considered normal, even healthy. But the Japanese view alcohol more cautiously. Those pursuing longevity often abstain completely or drink only on rare, special occasions, and only in small amounts. This isn't rooted in moral codes or strict tradition, but in science and bodily awareness. Recent Japanese studies have delivered sobering results. Even moderate alcohol consumption can negatively affect the brain and heart. A 2021 University of Tokyo study showed that just one drink per day could reduce gray matter in the brain, directly impacting memory, decision-making, and mental health. Alcohol is also a chronic inflammatory agent. Regular drinking raises the risk of high blood pressure, fatty liver, tissue damage, and most notably, shortens the lifespan of neurons. To the Japanese, a sharp mind is more valuable than anything. They believe a healthy old age means still being able to read, have deep conversations, and recall life's precious moments. So rather than raising a glass each day, the Japanese prefer a cup of green tea, not because green tea grants immortality, but because it helps them stay present, alert, peaceful, and deeply attuned to every breath of life. You see, change doesn't always start with a revolution. Sometimes it begins with something very small, a spoonful less sugar, a slice of bread skipped, or a pause before pouring another drink. The Japanese don't live long because they have special genes. They live long because they choose to live differently, every day, patiently and consciously. If you too are seeking a healthier body, a clearer mind, and a more fulfilling life, the path might begin right here in your kitchen and your habits. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share with someone you care about, and subscribe for more insights from Asian wellness traditions. See you in the next video.